Hey, what up, my dudes? We got that Daytona 1992, boys. Oh, man, we're taking it back 30 years here. Okay, this track is made by a dude named NWG. Okay. Cruising through the street with my KX Monster Energy Cowie custom bike, bro. Okay, so I'm starting to get a little bit of a reflex itch all of a sudden. I thought I was going to do that. It's the first time I've ever rode on this track, by the way. It's a right-handed turn. Alrighty. Obviously, this track completely caught my eye with the, 1990 fucking 2 Daytona custom track, bro. Yeah, this one interested me a little bit here. So this would have been even before the Carmichael days. Shit. That looked old school as hell, even looking at the... like back at when Carmichael first raced at Daytona, you know what I mean? Oh man, this was even further back right here. I just love this like retro, all that retro Daytona shit, dude. I love it, dude. Everything about it, dude. Okay. Alrighty. Ooh, looky there. Whoa. Smithy boy hitting the berms out here, boys. 3 inside ruts. Okay. Yeah, so I know a lot of you guys are wondering, where is the Supercross 5 videos? Where's the Supercross 5 content? Where are you at, Sminty boy? We need somebody to, tell us the real shit on Supercross 5. That will be coming out tomorrow, big dogs. Tomorrow. I was not going to, pre-order the special edition of Supercross 5 just to play it 3 days early. I was just straight up not going to do that, bro. So, yeah, that's why ain't really posted any content on it yet, because I did not get that early, you got the game 3 days early. You could play it 3 days early if you pre-order that special edition version. I wasn't about that shit, you know what I'm saying? There's been way too many Supercross games for me to do that at this point. So, yeah. Either way, I just wanted to update you guys a little on that. Be sure you got all notification bell hit for the channel. So make sure you get notified on all those Supercross 5 videos, but we'll be pumping those out like a madman here this next week, starting tomorrow. It'll be basically nothing but Supercross 5 videos, so we'll be on it. Pronto ASAP Rocky, boys. Don't you worry about it. Whoa, Smithy boy. So, yeah, I mean, for what it is here, this is not too bad, bruh. Got a lot of little pre-made choppy roughness like you would expect on a retro Daytona vibe track. I just love the entire retro theme to any tracks in these games, custom track-wise. I think they really got the Camel Supercross sign on the side. Oh, man, Coors Light Tough Blocks, dude. Shee! Make Supercross great again, baby. You know what I'm saying? Now we got damn Monster Energy and Rockstar and all that shit. Used to be cigarettes and beer. Now it's energy drinks. Yeah, there you go, boys. Bruh, I don't know. That was a whole era. That was a whole vibe back in the days when it was the, tobacco, cigarettes, and, and beer sponsorship. I guess we do have Twisted Tea at this point, but that's a little bit different than actually having, Coors Tough Blocks on the track, you know what I'm saying? Cold as the Rockies, baby. Cold as the Rockies. All right, got some nice little signs over here. What is that, McGrath? That little MC? That little MC? Okay. Obviously got the nice palm trees in the background. I would assume whoops. Spency boy getting on the brakes, kind of weird. I would assume it would be somewhat difficult to really go into the track editor of Reflex and try to really make like a custom full-blown Daytona, stadium and stands and everything around it. And, that's a pretty tall order for just a random custom track maker on one of these games right here. So, that's why the off-track may look a little bit more on that like basic E side. If you try to compare it to like a Daytona in one of the official Supercross games or something like that, you just can't make that comparison because with these custom tracks in these games, whether it be like MXM or whatever, it's a little bit different if like the pro race scene is doing it, because normally they spend a shitload of time on the actual, you know, the stadium and the tri-oval and all that kind of stuff. But for just a random custom track maker, I'm not going to fault him too much for that part of it, because it's just hard to access all that and the right kind of like models that you need for it and everything like that. So we're not going to fault him too much for the off track here, but as you can see, it is a little bit more of that like basic-y kind of vibe. You can just go way outside here. Okay. But yeah, one of the best things about this track right here is the fact that the pre-made roughness on it perfectly plays into that retro theme to the track. Isn't that weird? I just now fucking thought of that. It's weird, but like, you know, you think of a retro Daytona and you think of a bunch of like choppy roughness, bunch of big old like rutted out whoops. You don't really think of it as like nowadays it's more of just a Supercross track than it is like a moto or a hybrid or an enduro, or you know what I mean? Something like that. It's nowadays it's basically just a Supercross track in the Daytona tri-oval. But back in these days, you know, as you can see here, there was a lot more of it that was just that like choppy, ruddy roughness going through long ass like roller whoop type sections and shit, you know what I mean? That definitely gives you that retro Daytona vibe for sure, dude. Huge inside berm right there. Interesting how he just randomly puts like 3 tiny ruts on the very far inside. Kind of cool though. Changes it up, you know. You got one corner, it's got totally different ruts than another corner. There's definitely character to this track right here. You can't really deny that. That's one thing that I see a lot of the, like, what you would call more popular track makers in this game. Some of the, you know, quote-unquote bigger, better track makers or whatever. One big issue I've noticed with a lot of those guys sometimes is it's almost like they end up making the track too... They make all the corners like too homogenized. They make, you know, all the ruts and all the corners of a specific track like too similar. And not just ruts in the corners, but pre-made and all that shit too. And when you do that, you take away that character of it, right? Because even in real life, like real life Daytona or whatever, every corner is not going to have the same kind of ruts or the same kind of pre-made or the same kind of, you know, deformation on the track. It's gonna create different shit in different corners and different spots on the track. So it's really cool sometimes when you get some of these guys that go in here and make some crazy thing like this right here, because it kind of has that character to it. You know what I mean? A lot of them, you know, a lot bigger track makers in these games, a lot of times their tracks kind of lack a lot of character because they build everything too perfectly. They build everything too, like, ruts similar in the corners. They build the corners very similar. Isn't that weird when you think about it? Sometimes a lot of your character comes from almost like on accident, or somebody like, it's like you got to purposely like kind of mess up the way you build the track to get that character to it. You know what I mean? These tough blocks will definitely take you down, brother. So yeah, nice little track right here, bro. I like this one. I could definitely run quite a few more laps on it. There's definitely character, there's challenge, there's skill gap, there's ruts, there's pre-made. Let me see if I can go, yeah, you triple up out of that, then you go triple on the table. Okay. But, you know, this is more of like you can definitely tell it's like retro Daytona, because the challenge of the track is more about the ruts and the roughness than it is the jump rhythms or the whoops or whatever. This is more like rollers and rut and more like motocross style skill gap right here to the track. So I think that really pulls it together, you know, it having this much pre-made on it. Like if you came in here and smoothed all that out, trying to make more of a quote-unquote like perfect track, it would take away all that sweetness, all that pre-made, all that, And I've noticed that with just making my own custom tracks on like MXM, a lot of times some of the best like sections or pre-made or ruts or whatever, a lot of that shit almost like happens on accident. It's like you got to go in there and just mess around with the terrain until you randomly get something that feels really cool and unique. You know, a lot of times it's not so much about just setting out to make this like perfect section or this thing a specific way. Sometimes it just kind of naturally, accidentally happens. But even this little rhythm right here, I mean, you can't be playing around, dog. It's got a little bit of where you can come up just a little bit short on some of these jumps and you'll still be okay, but there's definitely like a kicker vibe to the track where it feels like at any second you could just absolutely weed your shit out of the stands, you know what I mean? Definitely has that feeling to it a little bit, but I just think that adds skill gap to it, just adds fun factor to it. So, yeah, Doug's 1992 Daytona on Reflex. If you got this game on PC, all you got to do is go to that. I know that Reflex Central has been down for a cold minute, so you got to go to that DS19, Dark Slides 19. If you type in DS19 Reflex, it's that top one on Google, and you just go on there to the newest Supercross tracks, and this NWG dude, he's made a lot of other retro vibe tracks in the game as well, so you can go check that out if you want to, bro. I would love to see some more Daytona, like retro Daytonas on Reflex, dude. This is one of those games where a Daytona type replica track would just fit it perfectly, dude. Because the dirt in this game has so much of a cushiony type, you know, move the dirt, kind of move the terrain kind of feeling to it, which in my opinion perfectly fits like a Daytona sandy vibe, loamy, softer kind of feel. Not sure what the terrain deformation would do on this track right here, but you know, I'm sure it would just kind of play. Whoa, Smitzy boy on a rocket ship. Hold the phone. Oh man. Ooh, that's fast. Yeah, if you hit these specific like really long whoop roller type sections, if you hit them in a specific spot where it doesn't pop you up as much off of that first one, it really keeps you a lot lower on them through the track right here, so that's pretty cool. And then this jump right here, I mean, it pops you up pretty good, and you definitely wouldn't want to over jump that. It's got just a nice little scaling feel to it overall. Then just a little bit of chop roughness coming through here. A lot of character, different kind of spots you feel like you could hit these different, you know, roller type whoop sections. Finally hit that good. That's about the best way you could probably hit that. Then you got a double right here that's kind of tricky. You don't want to over jump that. Bro, this track right here is where it's at, dude. Damn. I can feel my brain like having that feeling of like, dude, I want to run like another 50 laps on this track right now. You know what I mean? That's what it kind of feels like to me. Like, shee, I'd like to run another 50 laps, dude. Another 50 laps would be kind of fun, dude. Let's watch this highlight reel real quick. I thought the highlight reel took this off right here. Like, took this little thing off. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't do that on PC. I don't know. But, yeah, you can obviously see the off track. I mean, he did probably the best he could with what he had. So I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to fault him too much. Is this going to show me crossing the finish line or like what the fuck's going on here? Oh, that double right there is fun. It's going to show all my crashes. All right, let's not do that. Let's not do that. But yeah, he's got the right kind of tough blocks. He's got the right kind of vibe to the track. He's got the right kind of retro pre-made design on the track, which is probably the most important element to any sort of, you know, retro vibe track in any of these games. You know, he's got that like pre-made ruddy on the whoops and ruddy on the jump faces, and I don't know. This is definitely fits the description, you know what I mean? The track right here definitely fits the vibe, right? So, ESPN, baby. Damn. Shoo! That takes me back right there, dude. So either way, but yeah, as you can see, the skybox obviously is a little bit basic, weird looking, like kind of low, very, very low pixel kind of pixelated a little bit in the background. The little thing over there to the right side's pretty cool. Yeah, I guess technically all of that, I don't know, there's a lot of weird like white parts off of the track. Not so sure as to what's exactly going on there. But yeah, so a little bland and basic and weird looking off of the track, but for a retro track, it's really not that big of a deal because you're not trying to make it like some new fancy good looking stadium or whatever, you know. You're trying to give it that older basic look to it, like you're looking at a picture from 1992, you know. And I feel like this right here fits it pretty damn good. Like, I mean, for a 1992 retro replica Daytona, I'm gonna give this thing a 9 out of 10. I'm going to say the difficulty is medium, just because it's a lot more pre-made than you normally have. It's, you know, got that fun little where the bike tries to get out of shape on you on the sections, and you see it right there kind of bouncing around. So that, to me, just adds a lot of fun, a lot of replayability, a lot of skill gap. So, yeah, either way, man. It's got enough here to keep you invested, make you want to run a bunch of laps on it. So, yeah, big dogs, appreciate you watching all the videos. We'll be getting that Supercross 5 shit started up pronto ASAP Rocky. You know what it is. Later, dudes.